Hello, my name is Stephen Braley and I work for Untitled Customer Service. Been with the company a little over 20 years. Today we're going to be talking about your new 1000 watt AM transmitter known as the J1000. Today, this is your filter box, your exciter. It will come to you in two separate boxes, fairly large boxes, I suggest, because one of the great features of this transmitter is you can box it up and send it back to us. If you get hit by lightning or an AC surge, you have a failure, so please open the boxes carefully, tuck them in a dry place so you can use them later. Inspect the boxes, make sure there's not any damage, and if there is damage, report it to your shipping company. Okay, let's go into, after you unbox the equipment, you can either set it up in a rack like we have here, or you can set it on a bench. We will discuss the bench setup later, but right now we're going to show you how to set it up in the rack. Okay, now we've moved to the back of the transmitter, and we'll go over some of the cable installations and locations where you may want to place it. As you can see, the exciter is in the top here. The cables are routed they go to the filter box through the top. You will receive these cables wrapped in bubble wrap, protected. If you are going to put it on the bench, see the cables come out on the right side, you want the exciter to this side of the filter box that they will reach. I'm going to show you how these connect. Make sure the AC is not applied to this equipment when you're installing the cables. First we'll do the ribbon cable, identified A, which means that goes to power module A, also identified right by the power module. Red is pin 1, and it goes in to that location. You'll hear it click. The other ribbon cable, same way to power module B. The multi-connectors. Power module A goes in the top left corner. Power module B, top left corner of power module B. This is very important for AC not to be applied whenever you remove these two cables or install them, because this is the AC for the power module. Power module A, top right corner, and power module B. The RF output cables are the last two cables, and they go right where they're sitting. Click in, click in. There is one more cable that comes from the exciter to the filter box, not identified where it goes, but it's the only cable that's left. And it is a 25 pin, whereas the other ones are less. And it goes right here. And any luck, it will go on for you. Now before we go into the AC and the RF connections, I'd like to discuss the remote connections. There's two options for your remote activation and remote status, single-ended and differential. Differential is when you need to apply an external power supply to activate the circuits. Single-ended is when you use the internal power supply and it's ground activated. The only must connections is the interlock and the audio connections. Transmitter will run fine with just those two. If you're going to use something external, you can bring in your wire into the external interlock here, which is on TB2 pins 15 and 16. The audio is right beside it. Positive to 14, shield 13, negative to 12. If you want everything you can do from the front panel, you can do here. You apply a ground to RF off, RF on, preset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can monitor which preset you're in. That is normally a high and will go low when it's active. A momentary ground is you don't want to put a permanent ground on any one of these connections because it won't allow another command to come through. And now that we've got the connections between the exciter and the filter box connected, let's discuss the AC, the RF, and the reject load. Start with the reject load. Supplied with the equipment. This does not need a fan. The most power it's ever going to have is 250 watts. You will smell the resistors get warm. Typically they're going to have dust on it. It does connect to J2 right here on the back of the filter box. The purpose of the reject load, in the event one power module fails, the other power module will produce 500 watts. Half that power will be dissipated in this because of the combiner, the way it's configured. If you do not have the reject load connected, the transmitter will not function on one power module. The RF connection should have a LP23, which is supplied in the ancillary kit, loop through here, like so, with a ferrite, so it's 2 turns, close to the transmitter. And that's connected right down here to right control. We highly recommend a surge protection box on the wall near the AC entrance and the common ground. You would make that connection through a 2-inch copper strap from here to the building ground. And the building ground should be common to the surge box. We only have one more connection. That is the AC. And there are 2 separate AC plugs. The plugs we supply, the way the plugs are wired, is the instructions on how to do that is right on the box of the plugs in, also in the ancillary kit. We should have a 30 amp breaker minimum. The gauge of the wire should be at least 12 gauge, 10 gauge is better, and it should have at least a 200 watt rating. I'm sorry, 200 volt rating. Okay, now we're in front of the transmitter, and if you have successfully made your installations, the front exciter should look like this. Something I didn't mention while we was installing the AC, in the event that your display is a little funky, that could be the result of plugging your AC wires in hot. Highly, highly recommend to have a breaker on your AC wires. There should not be any surge on these plugs that can damage the software. So you need a breaker that you turn off and on before removing the AC from the transmitter. Okay, so we've got no alarms. Everything is green, well displayed. We have RF on, RF off, status, and in local. If you want to go to remote, it's right here. And if you want to turn it on, it's here. We do have a flow chart. Under certain conditions, you may have a red alarm, and it will indicate the area of the transmitter where that problem has come from. I will demonstrate a couple of faults so you can see them before you're done. To increase power on this transmitter, when you first receive it, there are 6 presets. If you have notified the salesman of what you want for power, those should be set up with the exception of 1. We try to skip the transmitter at 1 preset at 0 power. So when you first turn it on, there should be no flow power. I will show you, if you have that, I will show you how to increase that preset as well. To the right of this display is an increase up arrow, decrease down arrow. And those buttons, when the bottom right screen says power, will navigate through different meter readings. And I'm going to go to the top right now. With an RF turned on, the first meter is an average B+. At 0 power, that should be around 150 volts. It does take an average from the 2, however, both of them are about 150. The next one is a total DC current. Right now it's 0. The next one is a vis bar. We're not trying to produce power, so it's at a 0.00. Down arrow once, it should select 3 new meter groups, which is DC current power supply A, DC current power supply B, total DC current. One more time, and we have B+ voltage power supply A, 152, B+ voltage power supply B, 152, and average B+ of 152. One more time, it shows the low voltage of plus and minus 15 volts. -5, any AC voltage. And one more click and we've got the +24, +50, +5. shows the B plus voltage power supply B. Somebody has set this up, so they've got repeat. You can change, there is a menu where you can change which meter you want red and what blue, and this one has a duplicated one, but you can change it to various different levels. And we have P8 volts power supply B. Okay, so now if you want to increase power on the transmitter, the right bottom of the screen says power. You have to select that first by pressing the button underneath where it says power, and now it's back is displayed. Now you can increase power. I'm going to move to the other side of the transmitter so that this is very visible. When you first press the increase power button, nothing will happen. There is a 5-second delay when you're at 0 power. So you press it in and hold it down. You hold it down until something happens. Typically this bar will jump up to a high value, 55 to 1, and then the full power will start coming up. Once it starts coming up, it will follow your finger. To continue to increase power. If you load and tower, is everything good? If this bar should maintain at 1.0. And reflection power should stay at 0. On this screen, we've got an average B plus, and we've got an average DC, total DC current. So I'm going to continue to increase. This transmitter functions on a switching power supply, and at approximately 200 watts, the B plus will switch from 150 to about 245. If everything is happy. And it did that. And it was fast.
Fast here, 5166, fast 5166.
Okay, so at 222, this power supply switched to 245. And the DC current dropped. At approximately 500 watts, it's going to switch to its highest B plus setting of 350. And it did that. 359. Average DC current typically into a good load is 3.4 amps at 1,000 watts. And this one's a little low, so it's 3.2 amps total DC current. We're currently working on preset 1, power level 1. If we press back, we will press menu, and never mind. We're going to go next, switches down to the power mode, we're in manual, and go down to power level, and we're going to press the increase button. So switch to preset 2 or power level 2, and set. The power in preset 2 is 0, so then you can set the power up in preset 2. Same way you did the other one. You gotta press back, gotta press power again so back is displayed, and then press the increase power button. As you can see, there's a delay. When I push the button, nothing happens. That's normal. And we're gonna press back, I'm gonna press power again, you're going to press next, and you can hit preset 3. And there are 6 of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can set any preset to any power level you want. Typically when you receive a transmitter, you're going to have one of them that's set to 0, and that's the one you should start out with. So you can get familiar with the transmitter. And that is the power settings. I'm going to go next to menu. The first thing in the screen, the menu screen, is exciter control. We're going to select it just to look at the options. The J1000 is a standard single exciter. You can set it up for a dual exciter, but that has to be ordered and pay an additional cost. But it is a standard for a single exciter. But if you do have 2 exciters, you can set it up so that it will automatically switch to another exciter in the event of a failure. Right now we're in auto mode. Signal, so we can't set that up auto. Then we can, the next thing, we can hit the down arrow, is the event log. Scroll to that, press select. This will show 2 different screens, alarms only or events only. If it's displayed alarms only, that means it's displaying events. You have to select alarms only. It will show the the faults which would have caused a power cut back or a power at zero. Right now we have shutback A, shutback B, low AC voltage, SWR shutback. That would be a result of turning the AC off and back on, or bringing the power up into a bad load, which I probably did earlier. And then if you want to look at the events are anything that could take place since you turn the transmitter on. It could be an RF on, an RF off, any type of status. It all should be recorded. This event log stores 256 events. When the 257th one comes in, it kicks the old one out. If you want to clear the event log, all you do is push the up and down arrows, and it clears it. And back. Press it again. Alarms only, events only, log is clear. The next one is settings. Unless somebody from Nautel has advised, it's not a place that we recommend you to go. But in the event that you are asked to go there, I'll go through it so you're familiar with it so you don't make mistakes. I'm going to select settings. When settings comes up, your next selection is power preset scheduler. And I'm sorry, I may have misquoted. There's areas in the hardware settings that you shouldn't go to, but settings you do need to go. And it does it by month, and you can change one thing. You can save it so it does it all months, or you can change it to individual changes in the months. I'm going to select January. Right now there's nothing in there. It is a military time, so it is in 2400 hour increments. And I'm going to select that one. I'm going to show a change starting at midnight. It goes on by the hour. Back, and it says you can select it or save it for all months, and ask if you want to save it. It gives you several chances to save it as you need. And yes. So in January, this transmitter will switch to whatever preset you selected that for. We're in now to switch at 2 a.m. as an example. The next thing is the real-time clock. Select that, and right now it says this time is 2:10, and it's actually 3:05 locally, right? I'll show you how to change this. The first one is the hours in 24 increments. So we're going to go to 1500, which is equivalent to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to go to next, and this one is at 5 minutes after the hour, so we're going to go to 0, next, increase that to 5, next, we don't care about the seconds, it is Thursday, and it is the 17th, so we're going to set it. We'll go back to make sure it's correct, and it's saved. The time will be displayed in the top left-hand corner of the display. The next one is the factory sentence, which I was actually referring to, that you shouldn't go in this menu unless advised by Nautel. Changes in here can disrupt the operation of the transmitter. Select, and I'll give you a warning. Press yes. First menu is the calibrate meters. I'm not going to go through each one of them. They are what they are. Next one is the thresholds. This is preset in the factory. You can adjust the contrast in this display. The RF current standard would be shipped at 235. I suggest never changing that. When you get high modulation, high power and high modulation, this may trip. AC sags a little bit, may cause it. It's protection. I wouldn't change it whatsoever, even if somebody from Nautel advised it. Last one is lowest AC threshold. It's set for 10% low, approximately 200 volts. This transmitter doesn't care. It will work on 185 up to 260 volts. There's no transformer tax. This should not. The AC voltage will have to drop down to 189 volts before you see this failure. 91 would be equal to that. In fact, it says 168. I don't know. And last is the reflective power shutback. The reflective power threshold is adjusted for 150 watts. Reflected, after that you start getting the cutbacks. The condition clears, the power will come back to whatever power level it was, but it will continue to cut back as long as the reflective power is over 150 watts. And the DC current cutback, that's if the current for either one of the power modules exceeds 2.5 amps, it will start to cut the power back just like the threshold of the SWR. And that's it for the thresholds. Alright, that completes installation and the operation of the transmitter. I think I've gotten you to a point where you can produce power and you should be able to walk away. However, if you do have information that you don't feel that I've covered here today, the complete manual is available on our Nautel website. Just go to nautel.com, click on the top right hand corner where it says NUG, stands for Nautel User Group. You'll get instructions on how to become a NUG member, and it's a lot of information. It's beneficial to owners, engineers. I highly suggest you do it there. Once you sign up, you'll receive an email from Nautel with the username and password.